Imagine a ghost so terrifying that even the bravest Ghostbusters hesitate at the sight of it. A force of chaos that doesn't just haunt buildings, it haunts the very idea of reality itself. Sounds impossible? Yet, in Ghostbusters 2016, Rowan the Destroyer embodies exactly that, a destructive entity born from anger, rejection, and vengeance. By the end of this video, you'll know not only where Rowan came from, but why this seemingly one-dimensional villain hides a history more twisted and more human than most fans realize. But here is the question that keeps most viewers up at night. What made Rowan snap into the monster we see on screen? And more importantly, could understanding its origin change the way we see the entire Ghostbusters universe? Stick around, because every answer comes together in a way that might just surprise you. Rowan's story begins long before the events of the film. Unlike classic Ghostbusters antagonists that are often rooted in folklore or random supernatural chaos, Rowan's origins are surprisingly grounded. What fuels a ghost's rage? Is it anger, injustice, or something darker? The film hints at this, but the full backstory is buried in subtle cues and production notes. Rowan was once a human, a young, brilliant, but socially isolated individual who felt invisible to the world around them. Rejection wasn't just a passing sadness, it became a core part of their identity. And that's where the first hook lies. Can extreme loneliness create a supernatural force capable of wreaking havoc on an entire city? Transitioning from human to ghost, Rowan didn't just fade into the afterlife like most spirits. Instead, the trauma, anger, and unacknowledged talents amplified, manifesting as a destructive energy that feeds on emotional intensity. And here's a little detail to chew on. Unlike ghosts we've seen before, Rowan has a personality, albeit a twisted one. Why does it target certain people? Why does it act with calculated rage rather than random chaos? These are questions the film teases but never fully explains yet. Behind the scenes, clues point to Rowan's own longing for acknowledgement. Could Rowan's destruction actually be a cry for attention, for understanding, for being seen? The next part of Rowan's history takes us into the production of Ghostbusters 2016 itself. Concept art, draft scripts, and director interviews reveal that Rowan was initially envisioned not as a mindless destroyer, but as a reflection of the societal pressures of modern life. The anger, the chaos, the over-the-top destruction, it was all symbolic. Rowan embodies the feeling of being cast aside, of potential unrealized and ignored. Isn't it fascinating how a villain's backstory can mirror our own fears of irrelevance? At this point, the suspense builds. Rowan isn't just another monster, it's a mirror. Now, the film's audience never fully learns this origin story on screen, but there are subtle visual and narrative hints. Watch closely. Rowan's movements are deliberate, almost performative, as if it's acting out scenes from its own unfulfilled life. The destruction isn't random, it's almost ritualistic. Could these behaviors be echoes of Rowan's human life? And if so, what does this say about the line between human anger and supernatural malevolence? This is where the story's details hit hardest. Each scene in the film can be reinterpreted once you know the origin, turning Rowan from a simple antagonist into a tragic figure whose rage we might even understand, if not forgive. Before we get to the big reveal, let's consider Rowan's thematic role. Unlike classic villains, it doesn't have a grand plan to dominate or conquer. Its goal is more primal, to assert its existence, to force the world to see it. How many of us feel, at some point, a fragment of that desperation? By framing Rowan in this light, the creators elevate it from mere monster to symbol, and that's a subtle storytelling triumph. But the ultimate revelation, the final piece of the puzzle, is this. Rowan's power isn't just in its destruction. Its strength comes from the very emotions humans often dismiss as weaknesses: isolation, rejection, and despair. And that, hidden in plain sight, is what makes it truly terrifying. So, what finally created Rowan the Destroyer? It was a combination of unacknowledged human pain, amplified into supernatural power, and a desperate need to be recognized. By the time the Ghostbusters face it, Rowan is no longer just a ghost, it's a manifestation of everything we overlook in each other. Its origins reveal a deeper truth. Monsters are often born not from evil alone, but from the emotions we fail to address in life. And that's why, even after the credits roll, Rowan lingers in our minds not just as a villain, but as a cautionary tale about empathy, understanding, and the hidden consequences of neglect. Next time we watch Ghostbusters 2016, Rowan won't just be a force of chaos. We'll see a story of tragedy, power, and the terrifying potential inside us all when pain is left unresolved. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from your favorite movies.